day, everyone. I am Norhana D. Talib, the next reporter. So today, I'm going to continue the discussion of Miss Warak Warak. So here is the 13 categories under Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. First is autism, deaf or blindness, developmental delays, emotional disturbance, hearing impairments, mental retardation, multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairments, other health impairments, specific learning disabilities, speech and language impairments, traumatic brain injury, and lastly is visual impairments. So, this is the child does not meet state approved grade level standard or exhibit a pattern of strengths and weaknesses in achievement and or performance due to cultural factors, emotional disturbance, environmental or economic disadvantage, limited English proficiency, mental retardation, visual hearing or motor disability, and lastly is the principles of IDEA. So, in that state, are responsible for providing special education to their citizens. To do so, they are expected to follow a set of principles. School must educate all children with disabilities regardless of the nature or severity of the disability. School must use a set of non-biased method of evaluation for determining if a child has a disability. All children with disabilities must receive a free, appropriate public education. Children with disabilities must be educated with children without disabilities as much as possible. Schools must have safeguards in place to protect the rights of children with disabilities and their parents. And and also schools must collaborate with parents and students when designing and implementing special education services. So next is special education intervention. So when we say special education intervention, may be best described as a purposeful intervention designed to overcome or eliminate the obstacles that keep children with disabilities from learning. In other words, it is about providing children with disabilities with individualized plans of instruction to help them succeed. So types of there are three specific types of special education intervention. So the first types of educational intervention, it is preventive intervention. So when we talk about preventive intervention, are designed to prevent potential or existing problems from becoming disability. Special education in this form seeks to either stop something from happening or reduce a condition that has been identified. And the second types is remedial intervention. So it is in, remedial intervention are designed to eliminate the effect of a disability. They are generally used to teach children with disability skills that allow them to function successfully and independently. They may be aimed at academic, social, personal, and or vocational goals. Lastly is the compensatory intervention. So it is involved teaching special skills or using special device to improve functioning. May be best identified as a teaching a child to perform a task or conquer a skill in spite of a disability. It, it, in, it involves providing children with disabilities an asset that non-disabled children do not need.
Good morning to each and everyone. I am Alaysa Igisubaer, the last reporter. So my part is the 13 types of special education wrapping up. So the number 1 is deaf blindness. So this refers to a student that has difficulties when it comes to both hearing and saying what's being said and shown to them. Number 2, hearing impairment. A student with hearing impairment may not be complete deaf, but they are hard of hearing. In short, it's any loss or change in hearing that isn't defined as deafness. Number 3 is deafness. A deaf child has many specific needs in the classroom. You may need to learn ALS and understand how to operate a hearing aid system and find other ways to communicate with deaf students. So the number 4 is specific learning disability. So a child with a specific learning disability or SLD has been diagnosed with processing or learning issues. So the specific learning disability can include an auditory disorder, dyslexia, a nonverbal learning disability, or dysgraphia. So the number 5 is autism. There are over 3.5 million Americans currently on the autism spectrum. So autism means that a child may have difficulty expressing or controlling their emotions, have trouble with communication, and even struggle to make friends. So the number 6 is other health impairments. So this is a bit of an umbrella term when it comes to the types of special education available to learner today. So the number 7 is visual impairment or blindness. So be aware that a child who wears glasses will not fall under the category of visual impairment. A student may require special accommodations, need help learning Braille, or even need a guide around their school. So the number 8 is speech or language impairment. So this is another blanket term in the world of special education. This means that a child has issues with speaking or communication. So the number 9 is emotional disturbance. So a student with an emotional disturbance deals with moderate to severe mental health issues. The number 10, traumatic brain injury. So this type of special education refers to a student that has suffered from a brain injury that has impacted their physical and or emotional learning development. Number 11, intellectual disability. This refers to children that don't simply have a learning disability but have an intellectual ability that is well below average for their range. Number 12, multiple disability. So, in some cases, children will have more than one of the disabilities on this list. So, this means that the parent may need to look into more specialized program to ensure that their children get the education support they need. Number 13, orthopedic impairment. So, students with orthopedic impairment deal with the situations that make it difficult for them to move as easily as children without some sort of disability. So, that would be all. Thank you.